What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here, back from All Things Sports, bringing you a brand new review video. Super pumped that you guys are here. Happy holidays to you and your family. Let's get into this brand new review video. Alright guys, before we begin, you know the drill. All Things Sports, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, take care of those three things, and let's get into this brand new video. Recently, I did a video reviewing the Elite Screens Aeon CLR123 inch screen, and in order to review the screen, I needed a projector. Now, this is something I've been interested in for a long time. I did a video called Laser TV versus UST Projector back in January or March or whatever it was, and it was a really interesting video. So I'll leave a link to that if you guys are interested in checking that out. I'll also leave a link to my Elite Screens review if you're interested in seeing the projector in action. The screen does play a big role in the image that you get, but the projector is also obviously a very key piece. So we're going to be reviewing the Hisense PX1-PRO Ultra Short Throw Laser TV from Hisense. Now, this is a unit that came out in January of 2022, and I've been interested in it from basically the very beginning. It is a tri-laser projector, which means there are 3 lasers, a dedicated red, blue, and green laser, allowing to produce a very good image on the screen. The advantage to these tri-laser designs is that they don't suffer from the rainbow effect, notoriously common with the single laser models, as you get a color wheel spinning around to produce the colors. So we're seeing more and more tri-laser projectors on the market. Ultra short throws have become increasingly popular because they allow you to get a very large image without the drawbacks of a traditional projector setup. So the unboxing is a fairly simple process. It comes in a nice box. It's relatively large thanks to the size of the unit. It does house speakers and all the necessary ports all built into this one piece of kit. So the box does reflect the size of the unit. Open the box, you get a pair of gloves, you get a wrench, you get a couple of pieces of documentation, and obviously the projector itself. Take the projector out of the box, place it on your media stand or wherever you're going to house the unit, and simply turn it on. The next bit is a little trickier, if I'm honest. Setting the projector up and getting it perfectly aligned with my screen is an ongoing process. This is in part because the wall that I'm currently using the screen on isn't perfectly straight, and also I've just kept the projector on the floor. So this is my basement that someday I'd like to turn into a dedicated theater room, but for now it's a very simple process. So setting the projector up and getting the absolute pinpoint perfect display on the screen is a little bit trickier than you may think. Really make sure that everything is level, the wall should be straight, and even at that, the keystone correction does allow for some sort of corrections. However, if I'm being very picky, I find it quite difficult to get the image in all the exact specific corners of my screen. So just be aware that the setup is relatively straightforward, but if you're picky like me, it can be a little bit of a trial and error process that can take some time to dial in perfectly. Now, once projector's on, this thing does run Android TV. That's great because you get a smart system based into the projector itself, so you don't necessarily need a TV streamer or something else to play your media from. The only drawback to this is that Netflix is not included in this version of Android TV because of licensing agreements and things like that. There is obviously a workaround. You can get an Amazon Prime stick, an Apple TV, or something else, but you do have Android TV built into the box itself. Now, the projector does seem to respond really quickly. The remote is very nice as well. It's backlit and it's not overly large, simple remote, but I do like the tactile feel and everything about the unit itself. I think the design looks premium. It feels the part. The backlit remote is a really nice touch, and the operating system runs really well. Now, let's get into arguably the most important part of this projector. Let's get into image quality. Now, I'm using this in a basement, so I'm not too worried about ambient light because I can control the light in the room. There aren't very many windows. There's only one, and it's on the opposite side of the room. Now, in its current state, the room has a bunch of pot lights built into the room, and they're the really old school kind. They're not on dimmers. They're very bright, and they take a ton of power. So in my particular case, with the lights on, the image is obviously not as good as with the lights off. However, one day when I do get this basement dialed into the vision that I plan on renovating it to, I'm going to have all the lights down on dimmers. I'll have them smart lighting. I'll be able to change the color temperature, change the brightness, change all of that. So in that particular case, the brightness is going to be perfectly suitable for that particular setup. Now, if you're interested in watching this in a very well-lit room, such as a living room with a lot of windows or ambient light, I think it's not bright enough. Now, I've seen reviews of other ultra short throw projectors, some that are pushing 2500 lumens, some are pushing 3000, some are pushing 4000. I think you'd be better off in a well-lit room with those brighter projectors. This one is based in at 2200 lumens as its brightness. So I'm saying that because I don't necessarily think that the image and the brightness is needed for those models, but I think having a projector that is capable of brighter picture will allow you to dial in the color accuracy and all the perfect skin tones and all the vibrancy that you need in that well-lit room. In a dark room, no complaints whatsoever. The colors are very, very good. We'll talk about that in a second. Plenty of brightness, the darks look good, and the screen does really help in this, image quality aspect of the projector. So a high quality screen will obviously help, but again, with the lights off, I have no complaints whatsoever. The image is very, very good, and it looks like a TV. Getting into picture profiles. So the projector has a few different preset settings, and we'll talk about those quickly. I spent the majority of my initial time with the projector watching in standard mode. I did make a few tweaks to the image, but I did stay in that standard picture profile. I found the reds to be a little bit overly bright, so I did dial those back a little bit, and I found the image to be quite good. Now, as I spent time with the projector, I did play around with some of the image settings, and I found myself using theater day more often than not very recently. I find the image to be much more accurate in terms of colors, in terms of skin tones, in terms of all of that stuff. Now, that being said, I did make some tweaks in theater day as well. I found myself just boosting saturation a little bit, playing with contrast, and just upping the brightness just a little bit. These are very minor tweaks that I did because I found they actually made the image better. So I'm getting the accuracy and the color reproduction that I think is more reflective of the natural image on the screen, and you get some of the benefits from just tweaking with those settings to suit your room. So I think theater day with a few tweaks is probably your best option. And then, of course, this projector also has Dolby Vision. This was done via software update in the summer. So as soon as you switch on some sort of content that is in Dolby Vision, you're changing those standard picture profiles into the Dolby Vision profiles. You have Dolby Vision Day, Dolby Vision Dark, and Dolby Vision Custom. I've gone into Custom because I think you get better darks, you get better skin tone accuracy, you get better colors. All of that is done in the custom profile with just a couple of tweaks, and I think that for Dolby Vision content, the Dolby Vision Custom is your best option. So theater day for most options, and then Dolby Vision Custom when watching Dolby Vision content. Now, this projector also supports auto low latency mode. So for gamers out there, this projector is a solid option. Now, if you're a super competitive gamer and you care about first-person shooters and those split seconds that you lose with lag and all of that stuff, then you're probably not going to want this projector. And if you're that serious about gaming, you're probably using a dedicated gaming monitor. But for me, I'm not a very serious gamer. I just like playing the games every now and then. This was more than fine. It was excellent. You put the thing in game mode. I had it in HDR game mode for my F1 game, and the thing was perfect. I had absolutely no problems with it, and I had a lot of fun playing my F1 game with my racing wheel, and on 123 inches, it was probably the best driving gaming experience that I've ever had. It was absolutely excellent, so no complaints there. As soon as it does sense a game source, it does switch into game mode, so you do get better input lag, and again, I have absolutely no complaints. The last thing I did want to mention with regards to the review of the unit is the speaker system. Now, this comes with 30-watt speakers in the front. It does mimic the idea of a soundbar, and this soundbar does support Dolby Atmos. And honestly, the speakers were something that I was very, very impressed by. Now, if you have a dedicated theater and you're going to set up a surround sound system, obviously that's going to be better. There's not going to be any comparison there. But compared to traditional TV speakers, compared to even a soundbar, if you were just to buy a soundbar, I honestly don't think you need to because the soundbar built into the projector is that good. It does support Dolby Atmos. When watching movies, I found the sound to be excellent, super crisp, and very immersive given that it's coming from the projector itself. So if you have a dedicated system, obviously that's going to be better. But if you're just thinking about using this with a dedicated soundbar, I would save your money. Don't get a soundbar, just use the system built in unless you plan on going for a full-on surround sound system supporting Dolby Atmos and all those speakers in the ceiling and everything there. So that's pretty much it for the review of the projector. I just want to talk a little bit about my personal experience with the projector and who I think this unit is designed for. So again, if you're using this in a room with a lot of ambient light and that light is not necessarily controllable all of the time, I think you'd be better off with a brighter model. Now, Epson just came out with one that's at like 4,000 lumens. There is the AWOL Vision at 3,500 lumens. There are a few models around 2,800, 3,000 lumens. I think you'll notice a difference with those. I found this one to be a little bit lacking in that area in terms of brightness when all the lights were on in my basement. So given your room scenario, I think you could be better off with a brighter model. However, that being said, I think that this one is an excellent projector that is very, very hard to beat in terms of value, in terms of performance. It has Dolby Vision. It has HDMI 2.1. I'll just mention that in a second. It has auto low latency mode. It has pretty much all the features that you'd possibly want. For me, the only thing that it's missing is 3D. I wouldn't say I'm a big 3D fan, but I would like the unit to have that. I just want the option if there's a movie that I'd want to watch. For example, I'm a huge fan of The Hobbit, and I found The Hobbit in 3D was an excellent, excellent viewing experience. So for that one movie alone, I would love for the projector to support 3D, and I would also like the brightness to be cranked up a little bit just to give you a little bit more versatility. Now, those would be probably my only two complaints with the projector. And other than that, I think it's an absolute killer unit. Yes, it's expensive. It's not something that, you know, most people are just going to go out and buy on a whim. You do need to have the right room for it. You do need to really enjoy watching content and obviously want that theater experience at home. And if that's you, I think you're going to enjoy an ultra short throw projector much more than you're going to enjoy a TV. As soon as you get bigger than 85 inches, you're paying a real premium for that size. So here I have 123 inches. If you think about it, that's 4 65-inch screens in my screen, and I'm at a fraction of a cost of what a TV that size would actually cost. So I'm a huge fan of the unit. I think it was a very, very solid release from Hisense. As we head into 2023, I'm very curious to see what they do for this coming year. Again, in my opinion, add 3D support. I'd love for these laser TVs to get a little bit more brightness, and perhaps with more brightness would come better contrast. And then you're really looking at a serious machine that could very well be better than, you know, almost any TV on the market. So huge fan. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you have any questions, I always get an answer out to you. Mike McIntyre, all things sports. I'm signing off for now. Catch you guys in the next video. Till then, take care. Peace.